Last time we stood at the edge of Jord in Tanzania, where the human story first took shape. We walked through the granite wall of a kingdom the world refused to believe it existed. We looked up the pyramids in Sudan that most people never knew were there. 10 sites, millions of years, and we are only halfway through. Because Africa's story does not end in Kerma. It continues west to a city Rome tried to erase from history and towards north into the desert that was once a living world. Its wall still carries the memory of river and wildlife and people who are gone. And into communities that build entire civilization from the earth itself, leaving no pyramids, no towering monuments, and no less of a legacy for it. 5 more sites, 5 more chapters that the world has forgotten to read. This is part 2. And if you have just arrived, part 1 is linked in the description. Watch it first. The story runs deeper when you know where it began. Founded by Phoenician settlers on the coast of modern Tunisia, Carthage became one of the greatest cities of the ancient Mediterranean world. Its merchant-controlled trade route stretching across vast distance. Its army challenges Rome itself and came terrifyingly close to winning. Rome eventually destroyed the city, determined to erase it completely. But archaeology is a powerful tool, and Carthage has risen again, fragment by fragment, mosaic by mosaic, inscription by inscription, from beneath the earth where Rome tried to bury it. Hidden beneath the soil of Nigeria lies evidence of one of Africa's earliest known artistic traditions. The Nog people created stunning terracotta sculpture more than 2000 years ago. Their craftsmanship, the detail of expression, the sophistication of form remains genuinely astonishing. And yet, the civilization that provided these masterpieces remain mysterious. Who they were, how they lived, why this tradition eventually disappeared. The faith survived. The story behind them still partially eludes us, which only makes them more powerful to look at. Long before European medieval cities reached their peak, Jenne-jeno was already thriving, one of sub-Saharan Africa's oldest known urban settlements. It was a hub of trade, craftsmanship, and cultural exchange, but not from grand stone monuments, but from the earth itself. No pyramids, no towering palaces, no single dramatic monuments, just a city. Sophisticated, connected, alive with commerce and community for centuries. Jenne-jeno asks us a question that matters far beyond archaeology. Who decided what civilization had to look like, and why did we believe them for so long? Deep within Libyan Sahara lies one of the most extraordinary open-air galleries on earth. The walls of Tadrart Acacus preserved painting created thousands of years ago. Animals caught mid-stride, hunters frozen in action, entire communities painted with a clarity that still stops you cold. But what makes these images truly astonishing is what they reveal about the world that created them. Because the Sahara you see today, the largest hot desert on earth, is not the Sahara that painted these walls. These paintings show rivers, wildlife, green landscape, thriving human communities, a world that once existed here and then vanished. The artists of Tadrart Acacus were not just making pictures, they were sending a message across thousands of years, and we are still receiving it today. And beyond these 14 names site there is 15th. Not a single location, but everything that remained undiscovered. Ruin hidden beneath forest, artifact buried beneath desert, entire chapter of human history that no eye has seen yet. Africa archaeological story is not finished. It is still being written every year, every season, every careful excavation. History is not a closed book. It is still being uncovered. Some of these sites carry mystery that still spark debate. At Great Zimbabwe colonial era, historians spent decades constructing elaborate theories, all designed to explain how Africa could not have built something so sophisticated. Every single theory was later demolished by evidence. The stones were always African, the builders were always local, the denial was always the problem. At Miro, first-time visitors are genuinely stunned to discover that Sudan holds more pyramids than Egypt. More numerous, often more elegant, almost entirely unknown to the casual traveler. When viewed together, this 15 sites reveal something profound. Humanity's story is not a straight line. It is a vast, branching network of journey, of experience, innovation, failure, and extraordinary achievement, spread across millions of years and thousands of miles. The fossils of Olduvin, Streckfontein, Kobifora, and Isimila helps explain how our ancestors evolved, how they adapted to a changing world with nothing but their mind and their hand. The cities of Axum, Kirma, Great Zimbabwe, and Jenne-jeno shows how human society organized themselves, how they traded, built, governed, and flourished across entirely different landscape and tradition. The monuments of Lalibela, Thebes, Meroe, and Carthage documented something even deeper: humanity's compulsion to build, to create, to reach beyond the immediate, and to live something that will outlast a single life. The painting of Tadrart Acacus reminds us of what ties all of it together: the ancient, unstoppable human need to tell stories, to preserve memory, to say, I was here, and this mattered. These sites are not simple African history, they are human history. They belong to all of 15 sites, millions of years, countless stories. Together they form a timeline unlike anything on earth, stretching from humanity's very first step to its most extraordinary kingdom, its greatest monuments, and its oldest word of art. They reveal Africa not as the edge of history, but as one of its center stage. But this journey has just begun. Because each of these sites contain mysteries too large for a single episode. Entire civilization, forgotten rulers, architectures, ancient technologies that still raise questions, remarkable discoveries, and unanswered question that continues to challenge archaeologists today. In the episode ahead, we will visit each of these individually. We will walk through the ruins, examine the artifacts, follow the discoveries, and uncover the stories hidden beneath the soil. Our next journey take up to our landscape where the earliest chapter of human history were written in stone, in ashes, and in bone. A place that changed the way the world understands itself. Old Owen George, the cradle of humankind, and the place where our story truly begins. Subscribe so that you don't miss where we go next.